Having a 42-year-old unmarried shut-in living with us is so frickin' dumb. At first, I thought you were coming here in order to take care of us, but all you've been doing is sitting in that room of yours. I can't believe you even have to live here at your family's house when you're still 42. Are you not embarrassed? First of all, I'm 41 right now. Who cares what difference 1 year makes when you're that age? An old hag like you needs to get lost. Say that all you want, Danny, but this is my family's house. You guys were the one who got married out of nowhere, and before you guys were even a thing, I had things going on in my life. What? Annoying. You are always such a gloomy person, and it shows by the way you text me here. Let me just tell you something right now, Jill, since I have your eyes right now. Normally, people are leaving their parents' house when they're in their 20s and don't stick around as long as you have. Most people end up going to college as well, so they're out of their parents' place and in a dorm before they're even 20. Yet when it comes to you, Jill, how old are you really? I told you I'm 41 years old right now. That's absolutely right. In other words, you've been preparing to leave your parents' house for the past 20 years now, right? However, I'm not so sure you actually have been, since you're still acting like this house is all yours. I think you should start worrying about how you look to everyone else around you, Jill, because you're looking very parasite-like. Hold on one moment. I'm starting to believe there is some kind of a misconception here. Right now, I'm not leeching off my parents' house, and I'm actually here supporting everyone. Which means that there is no way I can just get up and leave this house like you've asked me to. That was quite a good lie you had there. Could that point to something else about you? Maybe the inside of your head is less brains and more hot air. You really think you're helping your family out right now? Do you think I have no idea what's been going on in your family this whole time? But I'm telling the truth. And it's not that I don't think you have any clue. Rather, I want to know what you do know about my family. What I know is that you, Jill, have been living in your parents' house this whole time as a parasite and a single old hag. But that's only natural, right? Had you gotten married like a good little girl, you would have been out of here by now and with a man. But all I've heard from your family is that you just sit in that room all day long playing video games. I'm going to be blunt with you here. Is there a reason for you to be alive anymore? Excuse me? Why am I having to hear crap like that from you, of all people, right now? Now, let me tell you something that I hope sets your mind straight. I am not some shut-in who plays video games all day. I just told you what I'm doing here. I'm supporting my family. I get that I'm in my room all day, so you have that right, but the rest of what you're saying about me is all wrong. I'm sorry about that. So you're one of those people now. What do they call you? Family security guards? I guess you've always been protecting this house from all the scary monsters in your video games. It really is special that we have a shut-in in this house who is taking care of all of us. I just told you that is not the case at all here. And who the heck says something like a family security guard? Are you really in your 20s right now? Actually, if you're going to talk to me like that all the time, I have something I'd like to ask you. Why would you get married to my little brother when you guys have such an age gap? You derailing our conversation like that isn't all too kind of you, because I have to rethink everything I was about to say. Well, it's fine, Jill. I'll give you my answer. You and I both know that I would never have been able to marry a man his age without the love we share, right? And I must say, your little brother, he's a wonderful daddy for me. I already know that with my looks, I could get any man around my age, but getting someone closer to the age of my dad? Well, that was a tricky game for me to play. Sure, he was in love with me the moment he laid his eyes on me, but it took a while for me to consider him. But after realizing that I love him too, I fell into his arms. So if it wasn't for love, why else would we have gotten married? What about money? There's also the fact that you might be wanting to get this house from my parents someday. We all know that my brother is getting up there in age and is almost 40 now, which means there is close to a 20-year age difference between you and him. With almost a 2-decade gap, are you guys really able to talk to one another often? When it comes to what we talk about, all I have to do is talk about the things he likes. Now, would you please stop making fun of my ability to communicate with an older man? In other words, you guys aren't naturally talking to one another. But that makes total sense since you were raised in different times pretty much. Is that really the kind of marriage you want to have for the rest of your life, Danny? Wait, what was that? Are you trying to suggest that your younger brother and I get a divorce now or something? I'm sorry to say this, but I am not going to let go of my husband. Between him and I, there is a very deep love that we share. Wait, I don't really care about the relationships of other people normally. This time, I was just wondering how things were going between you two, and it kind of helps me with my job a little. Knowing how couples talk to one another and such. I also wanted to know what you thought it was like being married to an older man and how you feel you've been viewed by those around you. This was a good chance for me to ask about that, so thank you for answering me. Jesus, you really are taking your job as the family security guard very seriously there, Jill. You're wanting to talk about relationships within the household and about how I feel about your brother to make sure he's safe. But let me tell you something. Protecting and caring for your brother is my job now. You should be more than aware of that now, right? I can't believe you. I feel like you've really taken that self-proclaimed job of yours a little too seriously. Listen here, I understand that I'm in my room a lot of the time, but don't start calling me the family security guard. Are you sure you're not confusing me for some kind of a nerd? I am not in here playing video games all day or watching movies. I am in here taking my job very seriously and making sure that I get all of my work done each and every day. Aha, that's totally right. I'm so sorry for thinking anything besides that. But you can cut it out now with all of that. All I care about right now is when you will be getting out of this house. Are you trying to hint at you moving into this house with us? I don't want to live there with you. How about you read what I'm typing instead of going off topic again? The only reason I'm asking all of this is because I want you to leave that house as soon as possible. I'll have you leave that house within the next month or two, and then I'll be moving into there with your brother. What do you think you're saying, Danny? Tell me, what has my brother said to that idea? Well, if you'd like to know, Reed has agreed with me and wants the same thing. By the way, that guy would never be able to say no to any of my ideas. I mean, that guy knows just as well as the rest of you that he's not cut out for me, so it wouldn't be crazy if one day I grew bored of him and just left. So he's always trying to suck up to me and keep me by his side. Is it really healthy for you to have a mindset like that about your relationship? As someone who's never been in a relationship before, I don't want to hear it from you. Well, I'm sure you don't. I don't know a whole lot about things like relationships, so I still have plenty to learn. If only you were 20 years younger, Jill. Then a comment like that would actually be kind of cute. But hearing an old hag saying that right in front of me, I'm surprised I'm not vomiting yet. Yeah, all right. Anywho, if you're really wanting to come to my family's house to live here, then let's make sure to have a proper discussion about it next time. And if we're able to come to an understanding, then you can come live here with my parents and I for good. The one who should be worried about continuing to live in that house or not is you, Jill. I've already told you what I want from you, and that's your butt getting out of that house as soon as possible. There is no reason for us to have any discussions about this when everyone already thinks the same thing as me. I am giving you 1 week now to get out of that house. Wait, you can't be serious. Didn't you just say you'd like me gone within a month? Also, we have to have a conversation about something as impactful as you moving in and me moving out. If you don't start listening to what I want to say, then you're going to be the one regretting this decision. Shut the hell up, you old hag. You really think threatening me with the old "you'll regret it" stick is going to work on me? Just shut up and get out of that house already. I'm trying to tell you that something like this isn't going to work out in the end.
Come on now, Jill, look. Were you saying some really mean things to Danny just a second ago? Is there something really that wrong with you? You're 20 years older than she is almost, and yet you act far more immature than her. I bet it's because all you do is sit around in Mom and Dad's house never doing anything with your life besides gaming. Has not leaving their house for so long shrunk your heart to microscopic size?
Huh? Reed, I haven't said a single thing to her today that was mean. What the heck was she telling you?
She told me that you don't want to leave Mom and Dad's house at all. And then when she brought up the fact that she wants to move in with them, you started telling her that she'd regret living in their house without paying any rent. To me, that sounds like you threatening her. I don't care that I'm your brother. If you're going to start hurting my little Danny, I'm not going to forgive you.
Huh? I never said anything like that to her. I wasn't even saying anything that was going to hurt her. Actually, the only person being intentionally hurt that whole time was me after all the things she said.
Is that right? Then tell me right now what she was saying to you then.
Not only was she calling me a 42-year-old hag, but she also started to call me a single shut-in. She then went on to say me living in this house at my age is crazy and that I should be embarrassed by it.
I see. I'm sorry to say this, but all of those are facts, right? And I have to agree with what she was saying to you, Jill. I think you being 41 and still living with your parents is a pretty crazy and shameful thing.
Reed, what the heck are you going on about right now? Don't tell me you forgot the reason for why I'm here right now. Both Mom and Dad got into some extreme debt and needed help with it pronto. They asked the both of us for help, but before they could even finish explaining themselves and what happened, you ran off and never came back, right? Yet after a while of being off the grid, you just decided to come back and act like you own this family.
That's all bits and pieces of the past now, Jill. Back then I was young and didn't know any better. I also happen to be the little brother, so I just assumed you'd do something to handle everything for them.
And that's what I've been doing, Reed. But you never ever seem to understand that I have things going on in my life that have led to this point, and a lot of those things have been caused by you.
Are you serious? You know it's kind of uncool to be crying about the past and acting like I should be sorry for it. I'm pretty sure you always bringing up things like that all the time is why you're still single, right?
Did you say? The reason I am 41 and still single is because I've never had any time to do anything besides take care of this family thanks to you. Back before you ran off, I had plans to finally go overseas and study at school in Denmark, and I even had my visa ready. But you just ran away from Mom and Dad, so I had no choice but to stay here and take care of them. And now I've been stuck here paying everything off for them.
All right already. I really don't care for your sob stories. They are all seriously uncool. Sorry that you had to be born the older sister and have parents stuck in debt, but that's not all my fault, right? That's just the way things are for you and for all the other older sisters in this world.
But you're the man of the family, Reed.
I might be, but I have an older sister in the family who can take care of everything for me. And all I've ever been told in life is that the oldest takes the burdens of the family while the youngest gets to do as they please.
What the actual hell? Whoever has been telling you things like that must be a spoiled brat. Honestly, you haven't changed one bit from the Reed I knew years and years ago. All you did was go out and grow a bit older before coming back to cause chaos again.
But I have myself a young and beautiful girlfriend now, right? I've come to learn that I'm a very good-looking guy, because I was able to get someone half my age and as hot as she is to sleep with me all the time.
Wait, you guys aren't even married yet? She was telling me before that you guys tied the knot and that she's your wife now.
She just likes to say that to keep all the other women away from me because I'm just that good-looking.
Well then, that means you're almost 40 yourself, yet haven't been married yet. And something must be going on there between you two, right? I mean, she's almost 20 years younger than you, so there can't just be love involved in your choice. What else is there?
Stop trying to compare me to someone as shameful as you. The reason why I've been able to land myself such a young woman is because of my looks and my hard work. Look, I've been working for almost 20 years now, right? So I have all of that money saved up in my account ready for her to spend. That house Mom and Dad are in will soon become mine, so I'm like a sugar daddy to her.
You're gravely mistaken, Reed, because that house you bring up that you think is yours, you threw away on your way out, right?
What are you going on about now? All I did was leave the house to go and live on my own and grow. But I'm still the man of the house, which means that I'll be getting the house next from Mom and Dad, right?
Huh? I thought you just said you're the little brother and everything was up to your older sister to take care of. Stop acting like everything is in your favor here, bud. You can't just change your title whenever you feel like it. Either you're the little baby brother or the man of the house, but not both.
You could call me a man of wisdom, all right? Well, so be it. Because of me leaving that house for a while and all of you guys behind, you were able to live in that house with Mom and Dad rent-free, right? You don't have any rights to that house, so if it wasn't for my kindness, where would you be at right now?
Are you frickin' kidding me?
However, that rent-free lifestyle you've grown to enjoy is coming to an end now. So get the hell out of my house.
If you really want me out of this house, then why don't you come say that to my face? I want to see what kind of balls you've developed after leaving your family, and that will decide whether you get this house or not. Danny, what the hell do you mean you threw all of my things away? Why the hell would you do that? I thought I told you already, right? You had 1 week to get all your things together and get out of the house. Yet after a week, it didn't seem like you'd be getting out of the house, so I had to become a bit more pushy is all. I made sure to put all of your things into trash bags and throw them into an industrial dumpster. The garbage truck already came by, but if you make a break for the landfill, I'm sure you'll be able to find some of your things. You bitch, not only have you come into someone else's house in order to force them out, but you threw all of their things out as well? What the hell are you thinking? I told you already. How many more times am I going to have to say this to you? I wanted you out of this house, yet you didn't budge. Luckily, I figured out the one time each and every week that you leave the house, so I aimed for that time today to make my attack, and just like I'd come to understand, you weren't home. I see. But asking me to leave right now, that's pretty much impossible. Because you don't have anywhere else to go. Well, you'll have nowhere else to go, and sleep tonight isn't any of our problem. Your brother and I are taking over your parents' house now, so you go be homeless somewhere else. I see. So that's the way things are going to be here. Well, I fully understand now. Go ahead and start doing whatever you'd like. Oh, is that really okay with you? You settled with this a whole lot quicker than I expected you to. I knew that someone as gloomy and weak as you was never going to be able to stand up to a couple as rich as your brother and I. It's fine. I'll buy my own house. I have a place I've been thinking about staying at for a while now, so I'll go there for the time being. I am dying of laughter right now, watching you try to act all tough. You really think you're buying a house for yourself now? You don't have to believe whether I can or can't. Now, the best of luck to you and my brother after today. Wait, Jill, where are you right now? Wait, why are you with a foreigner right now, living with them? I already heard about everything from him about you. You came to my place looking for me or something? And just before I could get inside and start looking around, that man went and kicked me out of there in a rage. You explain to me right now what is going on there. I'd really like you to explain to me what's going on with you first. Why exactly did you come all the way over to my place? And how did you even find out where I've been living now? To tell you the truth, when I was throwing all of the things in your room out last month, I found a piece of paper with some memos written on it, and some of them were addresses for different houses. At first, I didn't really think anything of those memos, but then I started to think if one of those places was where you moved to, it would be good to know in case I ever needed some money. That's kind of why I came out today looking for you, and then I ran into that massive house. What the hell is all of that about? You really are the most greedy bitch of them all. Well, what you saw was exactly that. The house my man and I bought is a mansion. I have no idea how that could be. How could some old hag of a shut-in like you be able to afford such a place? I believe I've told you this before, right? I was never just some shut-in at my parents' house. I've been working a very good job and was using that money before to help support my family. I'm sure you figured that out pretty soon after I left, and that's why you came looking for me now. That's exactly right. What were your parents talking about when they said that they were in some serious debt still? And I never heard from anyone that there have been plans to have that house torn down and the land sold. Well, you never listened to me, so I didn't think there was much of a point in saying anything. I did say before, though, that I wanted to talk about everything in person first. Yet instead, you guys acted behind my back and threw away all the things in my room before kicking me out. I don't care what happens over there anymore because I already went and did my part. But I did all of that thinking you were just some nerdy shut-in loser. Yet you were actually the one paying for the house and your parents the whole time? How was I supposed to think you could be someone like that when you were the way you were? I can't believe you're getting all upset at me now. I wasn't the one who told you not to listen to any of what I'd been saying, right? That was your own self-conscious telling you that. Also, my brother should have been well aware of the fact that my parents were in some serious debt before kicking me out. And I am telling you right now that neither of us knew that. Which is wild, because I told both of you about it before you threw all my things out. Well, at least with the land being sold, they won't have to worry about being in debt anymore, right? I can't believe this is all happening right now. The reason my parents were in so much debt in the first place wasn't all their fault, so I felt I needed to help them pay it off instead of running away like someone did. But I made sure that they paid off half of that debt so I could focus more on paying the bills for them and feeding us. I was actually getting kind of tired of having to put most of my money into their debts and house, so you and Reed coming in and kicking me out of there really saved me. Please don't joke around right now. If you were always paying for this place and your parents, you can come back here right now, and you can start to support Reed and I as well, just like you'd been doing for your parents, all right? You are the oldest after all. You were the ones who kicked me out, right? You can also see now that I have my darling, and we've begun living in this massive and modern mansion together. So there's absolutely no reason for me going back to that house to start handing away my money again. So you've never been just some single shut-in? You still think that I am? To tell you the truth, I've had a boyfriend for a very long time now, but due to the fact that my brother ran off and left me with my moneyless parents, I had no choice but to move in with them and care for their needs, which led to us having to wait on the whole marriage thing. That doesn't mean we weren't talking to one another, though, as we'd call all the time and talk about our future together. But Jill, you were always sitting in your room doing nothing. And remember how you said I would leave the house once a week at the same time on the same day? That was the time you and Reed broke into my parents' house and tossed all my things, right? Wait, so you were going out to... That's right. Him and I would meet once a week at the same time, and there was never any problems between us with that. He had a big boy job as well, so he was always busy with that. Which meant the time we chose to meet always stayed the same. But having you both go into my parents' house and force me out really changed things for the better. Because now we're living in this huge mansion, and he and I can see each other all day, every day. Then, wait, what's your job, Jill? You were always in your bedroom, so how were you making that kind of money? I'm a writer. And not just any writer, but one of the top 10 most famous writers in the U.S. As a writer, it's pretty normal for me to just sit in my room doing my job without having to leave at all. I'm also making more than most people my age, enough to buy this house even. Huh? So that's what you've been doing? I've always been a writer, writing stories about the world. I've always wanted to travel. Those dreams have been on hold for a long time, but at least by making these stories, I can feel as though I've been on plenty of adventures. Luckily, through one of my online classes after I got out of college and had been working for a bit, I grew to know my language teacher. He's a polyglot, which means he can speak quite a lot of languages. He's traveled the world at least 24 times now and has been teaching me many languages to help me prepare for our first trip overseas together. Hold on a second. What about all of us here? I married your brother thinking that I'd get to spend all his money and have this house. How things turned out now weren't a part of the plan. Come back here right now and help us. I knew that was your goal. I'm sure you can already tell, but I'm not going back there. You and my brother are both the worst, which is why I just can't. But hey, at least both of your crappy characters go well with one another. So please, both of you continue to rot away there on your slow and painful journey to hell. After that, both of my parents had the house planned for demolishing, and soon everyone had to get out of that house and move away. Neither of my parents wanted Reed or Danny going with them, and so they left early morning to move out of town to a smaller apartment, leaving them to become homeless. They then made another move on our house, trying to force their way in so they could live with us. But as my brother put one foot through the door, my husband went and slammed it on his leg, shattering it. He then called the police, reporting them both as home invaders, so when the police showed up, both Reed and Danny were taken away swiftly. I heard that a couple of weeks after they were taken away, they started living with my parents again in their small apartment, after they had already paid Reed and Danny's bail. Thankfully, with the law being involved with them now, I no longer have to worry about either one of them coming here again and can relax. My husband and I have a trip to Europe coming up pretty soon, so I have to start practicing my French and German a bit more with him, meaning there's no time for me to care about that family anymore. Hey Sean, it's Ruby here. I haven't heard from you in a while. I was just wondering what you've been up to lately. I was also curious to know when you're going to meet me next. It's been such a long time. Dad also wants to see you as well. You haven't seen him for a while either, Sean. He really wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding me, Ruby? Why should I have to go over and see you? I shouldn't have to make such an effort all the time. I shouldn't have to come over and take care of anything. All the nursing stuff is your job.
Did anyone say anything about you taking care of things or anything like that? I never said that, all right? All I'm asking is for you to come and visit us, especially our dad. He hasn't been feeling very well lately. Could you at least call him, Sean? He would love to hear from you. It might make him feel better. He's been so ill and feeling down in the dumps.
Well, tell me when you're not going to be there, and I'll go over and see him. I don't get why he wants to see me so badly. It's not like he's that ill or anything.
Watch your attitude, Sean. Would you please just cut this crap out? I don't need this from you. How could you talk about our father like this? We're his only kids, and you're acting like you don't care about him? You're so insensitive.
Oh, boo-hoo, Ruby. Of course you always go out of your way to say something bad about me. You always have. 10 years have been and gone, haven't they? He's been bedridden for 10 years, hasn't he? I've been waiting so long for him to leave this earth. I've been waiting so long for my inheritance, and I still don't think I'm gonna see it anytime soon. I really didn't think that he'd survive 10 more years. I'm really sick of waiting, you know.
Oh, Sean, how could you say something so horrible? He's our father, for goodness sake. You should be treating him with a little bit more respect. I think this has probably been the worst thing I've heard come out of your mouth. I can't believe you.
I don't really care what you think, Ruby. I'm just speaking the truth. What's so wrong with that? What's so bad about being open and honest with my family? I'm just saying that this has been a long time coming, and I'm still waiting on my inheritance.
Even though you've been more or less forcing me to take care of our sick father for the past 10 years, that is so messed up, Sean. Our father is very ill, and this could be the last time he ever sees you, but you won't even do that for him? Can't you just show our dad a little bit more kindness? He's dying, Sean. He's the only father we've ever had.
How about you both start showing me a bit more kindness before you start critiquing my actions? If he dies soon, then I can be a landowner and be filthy rich. I'll inherit all of our father's land.
You make it sound like it's an easy thing to do. Why? Wow, you really don't care about anyone, do you? Besides, it's been a long time since our father made any money off of being a landowner.
You've really got no idea what I'm talking about, Ruby. The value of land doesn't decrease that easily. That's why our father can live as he pleases. He doesn't have to worry about anything anymore.
He does what he pleases? Are you for real, Sean? He's been bedridden for 10 years. He can hardly move. Do you really think he's doing whatever he wants with the little life he has left?
Even if you're bedridden, you can still earn money and have a really good lifestyle. I guess he might have enough money to dish out to me if he's lying in bed all day.
He's just using the money that he's saved up all these years. He's no longer in a situation where he can have all the luxuries that he once had.
That's why I'm hoping he doesn't hang around any longer. There'll be no money left if he doesn't. My inheritance will completely disappear if he keeps holding on.
Why are you so hung up on getting an inheritance when you won't even see him? You should probably go to Dad about the money if you want it so badly. He's probably got no idea what you're saying to me. Dad's telling you to come over. Please, just do this for him. He just wants to talk to you and see your face. He's not asking for much.
You're making such a big deal of this. It's very annoying. I'll go over to his house if I can. Not making any promises, though.
Yeah, I can tell you're not. Well, I guess you coming over is never going to happen. You're so stubborn and insensitive. Sean, we really need you over here. Please respond to me when you get this message. Dad is really not doing so well right now. He's in critical condition. He might go at any minute. We really need you here. I've got something really important to tell you, so please get over here as fast as you can.
Oh, really? Oh my god, about time, don't you think? It's finally happening!
Huh? What do you mean? What's finally happening? I am so confused as to what you're talking about.
It's almost time, and I've been waiting so long for this to happen. I can't believe the time has come. Finally, I can get on with my life. Haha. Well, please let me know when the date and time of the funeral has been decided. I'm going to get in contact with my lawyer right away.
What the heck are you talking about? Did you not read any of my previous messages? You know that Dad's still alive, right? There's no plans of any funerals yet. Don't even think about doing anything with your lawyer.
I did read your messages. Didn't you just say that he's in a critical condition? Surely that means he's going to die soon, right? You've always wanted to be free from having to take care of him, right? Can't we just let him die quickly? Then it'll be all over, and we can move on with our lives. I also want my money. I want it in my hands as quickly as possible.
How dare you say such things to me about our father? I don't care about the money. I care about our dad. Just hurry up and get over here. You know, you're talking so badly about our father. Our real father? How could you be like this?
Look, I've got no interest in having anything to do with him anymore. I don't care what happens to him. Okay, just let me know when he's dead. You can get in contact with me once the funeral plans have been made.
How dare you act like this? Fine, be that way, Sean. You're a terrible and heartless person, and I don't understand how anyone could like you. I'll just take care of Dad by myself, and I'll stay with him right until the end. He deserves to have some kindness from at least one of his kids.
Hey, sis! Well, that was a fun funeral, now wasn't it? I'm sure our father appreciated the send-off.
How could you say such horrible things all the time? I am so sick of your attitude and what you say to me.
Oh, don't be such a hypocrite, Ruby. I bet you're actually happy now that he's gone, so you don't have to look after him, right? You took care of our father, the landowner, for 10 years, and now he's dead. Now you can finally be free of that role, right?
How could you say something about my father who's only just passed away? Haven't you said enough hurtful things? It's supposed to be a sad time, and I am choosing to be sad over the loss I've experienced, unlike a heartless person like you.
Oh yes, I suppose you can feel however you want. So, I've talked to the lawyer about what's going to happen.
Good for you, Sean. I've actually talked to a lawyer as well. Dad was worried about what would happen to me after he died, so he told me to find a lawyer.
Wow, of course you did what Daddy said. I'm not surprised. You live such a miserable life, don't you, Ruby? Looks like I'm going to inherit all the assets and property that was in my father's name. It looks like you're not getting a single penny of it. Haha! You've taken care of him for so long, and what have you got to show for it? Probably not a lot. Or anything at all, to be honest. Thanks for all your hard work in getting me the inheritance. I'm looking forward to having it.
Huh? I'm confused. What are you talking about, Sean? What do you mean I'm worth nothing?
Did you really have no idea what was going to happen, Ruby? Wow, you really are stupid. It's such a shame that you had to find it all out this way. You cared for our father so much over the last 10 years, but in reality, you meant nothing to our father. He gave you nothing. In the end, I was the cute kid who earned everything.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're wrong, and that's not what's going to happen, Sean.
All your life has all been for a dusty old rag. Caring for our father got you nothing. Doesn't that suck so much? Well, to be honest, I'm rolling around on the floor laughing about it. It's so hilarious. I can't help but laugh and cry at the same time.
I don't get how you'd find this so funny, Sean. What's the old rag supposed to be about? Me cleaning up after our father? Someone had to.
Even though you cared for our father so much, your efforts were all in vain. You ended up with nothing. Did you really think that if you provided him with love and care, that you'd get your hands on my inheritance? Obviously, you misunderstood the entire process! You wasted a lot of your life because you wasted time on a man who wasn't going to give you a single dime! You could have gotten married and had a lot of children during that time. Your life must be such a disappointment. After 10 years of caring for him, you got no inheritance, so you might as well live in rags for the rest of your life. Of course, being the older brother, I'll inherit all the money. But if you hold a grudge about it, you should be mad at our father for choosing me.
You know what, Sean? Go ahead and take the money. It's all yours. Take it all and don't worry about me.
I've got no need to worry about you. I'm sorry, but things were supposed to be this way.
That's fine, Sean. I don't need any of the money from the inheritance. I don't really need it even if I asked you to give it to me.
What are you even talking about? What's gotten you so high and mighty about this? You seriously don't want any of the cash?
Hey, all I'm doing is staying quiet, brother. I'll hand over the entire inheritance over to you, and you can do whatever you want with it. I'm really glad you were able to get what you wanted, Sean.
Also, the beach house by the sea is mine as well. I couldn't forget about that. I've only been there a few times in the past, but it's worth having assets there.
But it's such an old building. What's the point in trying to make money off of it, Sean?
Like I told you before, the value of real estate isn't coming down anytime soon. You really are an idiot when it comes to money and property. But I should expect that of my little sister. You were never as bright as me.
Well, why don't you go to the beach house and check it out? You should see it with your eyes so you can make the right judgment call on it.
That's true. I haven't been there in quite a while. I'll take my girlfriend with me, and we could do a staycation or something. Well, I really can't believe our father has finally died. This is the best thing that has happened to me in such a long time. I'm going to get so much money and have so much land to play around with. It's gonna be great!
You are so horrible, Sean. You're the worst brother on earth, and you're a terrible human being with no remorse. Don't contact me anymore. I've decided to disown you because I don't need someone with your attitude in my family. I don't want to talk to you anymore. What the heck? How did you call me? I thought I cut ties with you. Why are you contacting me?
Look, Ruby, that's not important right now. You need to answer your phone when I call. I need to talk to you. It's an emergency.
I've got nothing to say to you, Sean. I don't want you contacting me, but you obviously didn't get the message.
You know how I told you that my girlfriend and I were going to go to the beach house, right? The only thing that was there on the land it's supposed to be on was a rotting house. It's falling apart. Don't tell me that's the luxury beach house. It's more like a ruin than a house. It's as gross as an old rag. This can't be right, can it?
You really like using that word, rag, don't you? You called me one and now the beach house? You're funny, bro. The ruin you spoke of is the beach house, Sean.
No way. That's not it, is it? It's a piece of crap. There's hardly anything left anymore. It's like something from a horror movie. Did I just pay a huge chunk of tax just to inherit this ruin? Isn't it a ruin? It looks like it might be haunted by ghosts or something. I won't be able to live in this crap hole that I inherited. This is just the worst property I've ever seen.
I suppose it is. Apparently that beach house is known by the locals as the haunted house.
Are you kidding me? They actually call it that? Is it actually a haunted house? Has someone actually seen ghosts inside it?
It's such a shame because it used to be a lovely piece of property in the past. Even in the state it was in back then, it was also called a haunted house. Even if you want to sell it, you couldn't sell it because no one would want to step foot inside.
I can't believe this place is still standing! What is this? Some kind of sick joke? Did you know about the state of this place? I heard it was a luxury beach house with all the bells and whistles. How does it look like this?
What are you even talking about, Sean? There's nothing wrong with it, really. It's just everything but a luxury beach house. It's still an all right house. It just needs a little work, that's all.
Are you delusional or something? There's no way this place can be fixed. This house is not even livable, Ruby. It's literally falling apart. Don't you know that I paid a considerable amount of tax just so I could inherit this place? I can't live in it, and I can't sell it.
But you're the one who wanted the beach house. You told me that yourself. You know, I'm glad that things have turned out the way I wanted them to. I wouldn't have any idea what to do with that house in that state. My wish came true. Why don't you just take care of it?
If I had known that the beach house was in this disgusting state, I wouldn't have wanted it from the inheritance. I should have just taken the inheritance money, and I would have been laughing all the way to the bank.
By the way, what money are you talking about again? I'm just a little bit confused by what you're saying.
Huh? How can you not understand what I'm talking about, Ruby? Man, you're so dumb sometimes. I'm talking about the money from our father's inheritance. Since he owned a lot of land, our father's inheritance must be huge, no? I should have gotten that money. He should have gotten rid of such a useless piece of property when he was still alive.
I've got no idea what you're talking about, Sean, but there's no inheritance money.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? What do you mean there's no money? Of course there's money. He had so much of it.
Did you really not check his accounts or look into what he actually had, Sean? All that was left was the debt he was in. What money are you talking about, Sean? I guess you never really gave up your inheritance. Didn't your lawyer explain all of this to you? I'm surprised they didn't.
Explain what? What's there to explain? I don't understand what you're saying, Ruby. You're not making any sense.
Well, since it's about you, brother, I don't really know if I need to give an explanation since you know yourself so well. You inherited that beach house before even listening to the full story, I guess. You decided to take the property for yourself and just went right ahead with getting it, right? I guess you didn't even know what kind of inheritance you were truly left with, brother?
Okay, so what if I didn't listen to what my lawyer was saying? They were being a pain and talking about too much legal stuff. But what do you mean about Dad being in debt? I never heard anything about that. How did you know?
I just didn't want to tell you because I thought it would be too much drama for you to handle. You also didn't ask about the situation either, did you? I could have told you.
Stop with this nonsense and just explain to me what's going on here. You're really frustrating me right now. Why is the house like it is?
Actually, I was told all about his debt before he passed away. I knew everything.
You knew? You knew all along and never told me? How could you do this to your own brother?
How about you calm down so you can think rationally about this? Even though he owned land, he was bedridden for 10 years and did nothing about it. The real estate came to a standstill. He opened the beach house himself, so it was up to him to manage it. Once he was bedridden, it was no longer possible for him to take care of the place. Of course, it would have been cleaned a few times a year, but then time passed, he got more sick, and he never rented it to anyone, and he didn't sell it either. That's why it's turned into a ruin.
So I guess that's what happens when you leave a property to rot for 10 years. Why didn't you tell me about the beach house?
Ever since you found out that our father needed full-time care, you've been ignoring us. I also ignored it because I didn't want the place forced upon me, okay? That's why I didn't tell you about it, and also, you never came by to visit, so it was never talked about.
I could have done something about it if you'd at least told me what was going on with the property.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I can't believe that my brother would care about some property that much.
But you knew that it was going to be mine someday since Dad was the one who owned the beach house. Of course I would take that seriously and do something about it. You could have told me.
Well, is there really any more point in talking about this now, Sean? Nothing's gonna change. Besides, it's going to be so difficult trying to maintain it. The property tax is probably pretty high. Everything up until now is turned around and not for the better. He used various services such as accountants. Some properties just fail and then the person ends up in a lot of debt, like our father. After that, it's just a snowball effect and the debt just kept growing bigger and bigger.
Are you kidding me? The debt's just going to keep on increasing even though our dad isn't around anymore?
Of course, no one's trying to pay it off, so interest keeps getting put onto it. You know that this inheritance was not forced upon you. We tried to call you and talk to you before Dad passed away. I got in contact with you so many times, Sean, but you never returned my calls or even tried to visit.
What a cruel thing to say! You're just trying to get back at me for what I said about Dad!
And so I should, because you said so many terrible things. You basically estranged yourself from us. Dad didn't want things to be like this. So I started the procedure of abandoning the inheritance so I could avoid it. I called because I wanted to explain all of this to you. Our dad just wanted us to get along and be happy. He didn't want to leave us with the debt, but it was too big to handle. You were never good at listening to other people. I wanted to explain everything properly, but you never made the effort to come over.
Well, It's because I never thought that you wanted to say something so important. I thought you were just making small talk. Why didn't you say something to me? This is your responsibility now!
It's more your own fault, Sean. You're being so stupid right now. You got greedy and you just wanted to get your hands on some money.
How dare you talk to me like that? How is it not your responsibility? You didn't communicate with me properly!
Oh my god, this is getting too much. I can't deal with your crap anymore, Sean. Dad also gave a message to his lawyer. You were the one who decided to inherit everything without discussing it with Dad first, right? He told the lawyer how disappointed in you he was. I don't even know what else to say to you anymore. This has been your own doing, Sean. Live with it.
How could you do this to me? How is this even possible? I never imagined something like this happening when Dad died. I was supposed to inherit everything from our father and be happy and rich. And now this is what happens when I show up to a rundown place with my longtime girlfriend? It's not fair! Do you know how embarrassed I was to see that house standing there in ruins?
I have no idea, Sean, but I'm sure it must have been so hard for you to handle. What's happened to you has got nothing to do with me. I don't really give a crap what happens to you anymore, Sean. It's only natural for me to feel like this after the way our father and I have been treated, right?
But I'm your brother, Ruby! You can't just leave me to deal with this mess on my own! You also need to take responsibility for the dead and this beach house!
Like I've already said, I'm cutting ties with you. I don't want a horrible person like you being a part of my family anymore. I don't want to be involved with your life. Surely that young girlfriend of yours must have guessed what you're like by now, right? Now you're just a scumbag who's rolling in a lot of debt. You're not a part of this family anymore, Sean.
Okay, so you can say whatever you want, but I can't? What the heck, Ruby? How can you treat me like this? Stop making fun of me!
You treated me like crap before, so why can't I do it now? Isn't it true, though? You're in so much debt now. Dad and I tried to advise you, but you chose to ignore us. You even ignored your own lawyer. How stupid is that? I wasn't the one who didn't listen and ignored the people around me. As a result of your ignorance, you inherited all of our father's debts. And you even inherited that haunted beach house since you paid so much tax on it. It's so lame that I couldn't tell you anything.
Shut up, Ruby! You're just so happy because you didn't open your big fat mouth! You got away with not having to inherit his debts!
You would have taken it all without our permission before I could tell you the truth anyway, Sean.
Then why didn't you just say there was absolutely no money and that Dad was in the red?
Well, it's because I never needed any money in the first place. No matter what, you wouldn't have listened to me.
That can't be true! Everyone wants money since we needed to live a nice life! Especially now that you're a middle-aged single woman! There's no way that you don't want money when you're probably so unhappy with your life!
Stop making things up. You know nothing about my life. I'm actually married to Dad's lawyer, so no, I'm not single, Sean.
What? Really? Since when have you been married? I had no idea that this happened!
I wanted to get married while Dad was still alive, as it would give him a bit of peace of mind. We'd been dating for a while, but then we decided to get married. But at least Dad gave me a property that's worth something.
Huh? What are you talking about? What could he have possibly given you if he was in so much debt?
He gave me an actual property, not a ruin. He renovated it at his own expense and rented it out. I'm now living there, comfortable and paying rent.
Are you kidding me? You've been hiding this the entire time? Are you for real? That property should be mine!
Why don't you renovate that ruin you own yourself? Maybe you could make some money off of it if it looks good enough. But since you've got all that debt to pay off, maybe it might be impossible to do that. Well, I guess I should wish you luck on your ventures.
Renovate the beach house? But it's completely in ruins! You can't be serious!
I honestly don't care what you do anymore, Sean. You're on your own. I wonder which one of us will be living a life in rags from now on. In the end, Ruby abandoned her brother Sean and cut ties with him. It seems like she's living a peaceful life without him bothering her. Meanwhile, Sean's been forced to live in an abandoned beach house. He was deep in debt and his girlfriend dumped him. It seems like the land was taken by a debt collector until Sean could somehow get the money to pay off the debt. Unfortunately for him, the debt still remains as he struggles to make repayments. Greedy people like Sean will almost always end up in a worse position because they're too blind to see any faults. Let's hope he can learn a little bit from his mistakes and be more considerate towards other people. Maybe his personality might improve, but we all know that it's likely impossible.
Hey, why is the janitor grandma talking with all the other employees like she's on their levels? I was just talking with Chris about this, and there's no way you're trying to flatter all of them, right?
Flatter? Why would I be doing that? I see that you and Chris have decided to get married, so congratulations for that. I look forward to hearing more about that from you two in the coming weeks.
Well, I'm not happy to hear you congratulating me when you're just a stinky old janitor. Why are you even here? You're not going to ask me to invite you to my wedding, right?
Angela, are you sure there isn't some sort of misunderstanding here?
Please don't call me by my name. I have no idea why it seems like you're on the good side of all the other employees here, but why are you even allowed to be talking with all of them?
Angela? Are you really asking me that question? Did you not listen to anything that was told to you when you were hired to this company?
Yeah, I remember them saying that you are the janitor for this company. That's what the CEO was talking about, right? But to be fair, that whole speech I was given was so boring that I dozed off during most of it. I was even looking at my phone more than the whole introduction presentation.
I'm aware that right now you're in your office working, so do you think that's the right time to be messaging me?
That's not something you of all people should be worried about. I think you should be more worried about your own problems within this company, right?
What problems do I have then?
You have no other skills to use within this company, hence you being a janitor, which is awful for someone your age. Don't tell me that you're also not married. I know that I never want to be your age and still having to work as a janitor cleaning the whole office building. You must hate your husband if you're married.
I'm married, as a matter of fact, and I do not hate my husband, nor does he have anything against me.
You're in your 50s, right? Do you really have anything more to your future now that you've stooped so low as becoming a janitor? Well, I guess at your age, there really is nothing left in your future for you. I feel bad for you, but that's your current reality.
So we really do have a misunderstanding here. If you really have an issue with me that you'd like resolved, why don't you talk with Chris about all of that? Because continuing to talk to me as though you want to start something with me will not land you in a good place. So what do you want with me, Angela?
If you really want to know, I'd like you to disappear. I know that you seem to have good relations with a lot of the other employees here, but I'm sure that's what they're all thinking as well. You wouldn't want to keep talking to them all, knowing that, right? You'll start to look bad in front of Chris. And even worse, if he saw me talking to you, he'd think twice about me. I finally found a good man to marry, and I don't want you ruining that for me.
I wasn't planning on saying anything about this, but I think it's best that you go into the company's website and look into this company just a little bit more, okay?
Huh? What are you saying right now? I'm not going to listen to what some janitor tells me to do. And to be honest, I'm not planning to stay within this company forever anyway. Do you really think I'd stick around in a company like this for the long haul? No way. And to be honest, I don't have any drive to do work here either. So I think I'll just sit around looking cute for all the others, and that should be enough to get my salary.
So you plan to leave this job anyway, I see. Now I understand the full picture here.
I mean, look at me. I'm too good looking to work, so I plan to become a housewife soon. So really, this job is just for play until the wedding comes.
Well, with that kind of confidence in yourself, just be careful not to take too large of steps when you're on thin ice.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
I don't really have much else to say, but Angela, I think taking this job a bit more seriously will benefit you plenty. So to start, can you please take another look through the company's website and study up a bit more on this place? Now I need to get back to work. Please excuse me.
A janitor still trying to act all smart with me? why are you here right now?
Huh?
You're just a janitor, so you shouldn't be here with everyone. Did anyone even invite you to this wedding to begin with? Get out of here, now!
You've really gotten far with this whole misunderstanding, haven't you? And you went as far as to pour wine all over me at this wedding. Is that really something the bride should be doing on her special day?
Did you really think that because this was the wedding for a couple of company employees, you'd be invited to join? Well, I'll have you know that I do not view you as one of my coworkers. You just clean up the trash. You're not even a real employee.
Well, I suppose I'm not just some ordinary employee, am I?
Why is this janitor grandma even at my wedding today?
Can you please stop trying to belittle me due to your misunderstanding? I think you'll find what you're doing is not at all okay.
All you know how to do is clean up the toilet, so what makes you think you know what's okay and what's not? Wait, could this mean you're here to clean up the reception hall's toilets as well? Well, if that's the case, you can join all the other janitors here and get on with your work. But just make sure you don't come in during the rest of the wedding because you have no right to.
You may think that what you're doing to me is okay in front of everyone here, but to tell you the truth, you're being quite the nasty person at the moment.
I'm not going to take that from a grandma that smells like bleach. You're just here to clean up our mess. So why were you talking to all my guests? You smell bad, old lady.
Never thought you'd actually be willing to take things this far.
Well, it's not my fault that you thought you were invited to my wedding. Maybe if I come and spill some beer on you as well, you'll understand you're not wanted. Go home!
Can you at least let me stay until the speech is over?
Shut the hell up and go home!
If you let me stay a little longer, I'll go home. I'll make sure to stay out of the wedding and everything for you after that. But if you just give me until after the speech, you'll understand everything a whole lot more clearly.
I'm so very sorry about everything. Can you please accept all of my apologies? Where have you run off to?
Even if you'd like to continue to apologize to me, you're far too late. You have the wrong idea about me thinking that I was a janitor instead of the CEO of the company, and then going as far as you did is not forgivable. Are you happy now?
I really never knew that you were the CEO of the company, though. You didn't seem like the kind of person to be a CEO, so I had no clue.
Even though your fiancé Chris asked me to come here to give the wedding speech for you two, I never thought I'd end up on the stage covered in wine thinking twice about taking him up on his offer. I'd like for you to be thankful that I never once brought your name up in a bad way during that speech.
Even if you didn't bring up my name during that speech, you already threw everything into chaos. When you said that someone threw wine all over you, you gazed directly at me for everyone to see. Now even Chris knows that it was my fault.
Well, sorry for that. Both your fiancé and his family were in great surprise, and now the wedding has been canceled, right?
That's not all that happened, though. You saw what else happened, right?
Oh, I sure did. I think everyone saw what happened, right? You and your fiancé got into a huge fight up on stage and everyone began to panic.
And worse than that, Chris and his family have gone up and left me here after they had enough of me. Making me fall into hell in only a matter of seconds is going way too far, don't you think? And the rest of my coworkers just sat there without supporting me and have left me with a failed wedding. Don't you think this was too much?
What do you want to say, Angela? You poured wine all over me and now my dress is stained and I doubt any of it will come out. Do you really think any of your coworkers would support you after seeing that? No wonder they all came up to ask me if I needed help.
So you're going to think that all of this was my fault then? All I did was get a little confused over some things.
Angela, what are you really trying to say here? Can you tell me why you started texting me in the first place again?
I want you to apologize to you.
Well, you're not really apologizing to me right now, are you?
I'm sorry. It was my bad for spilling that wine on you. But I never once thought that things would get this out of hand. I've apologized to you now, so can you forgive me?
Even if you feel bad for what you've done, I'm way over trying to make up with someone like you.
Not only did a ton of my guests leave, but so did my fiancé and his family. What should I do?
Chris again already came in to apologize in person. He said he never knew that the woman he planned to marry was hiding so many things about herself, but he's right to say sorry for that because you've really shown everyone just the kind of monster you really are.
I'm sorry! I'm apologizing to you, so shouldn't you forgive me at least?
I'm not upset with you or anything.
Huh? Is that so? Well, then we don't need to worry about all that then. Let's get this wedding back on the rails.
I'm not upset with you because I've given up on you, so I'll not be coming back to that wedding of yours. And even after today, I have no desire to ever see you again. First, I'm going to ask that you pay for the cleaning of this dress after you stained it so badly. And if it cannot be cleaned, I'd like you to buy me a brand new dress to replace it.
You want me to pay for it to be cleaned? That's pretty expensive though, isn't it?
Well, it won't be as expensive as the cost of the wedding's cancellation fees.
Are you trying to kill me? My wedding's already been canceled and everything, and you expect me to suffer more.
And not just that, you're also fired.
Huh?
The next time you're in the office, you'll come to my office and we'll have you go through an exit meeting on all reasons for your dismissal. Make sure you're there on time to listen to the HR team and I.
What are you saying? Fired? Well, why should I be fired? You can't just fire me for this. You don't even have the right to do that.
Have you forgotten who I am? I have every right to tell my HR department to fire you. It's all my company after all.
You're lying, right? You can fire me that easily? Didn't you just say that you're not upset with me? Yet you're still not forgiving me for any of this? Please, just say you forgive me already.
Even if I wanted to, I'm too stubborn to let myself forgive you. I'm not mad at you, Angela, but I'm not forgiving you in any way. I really just don't want you around any of my employees anymore. I've heard from one of the department managers about how much you slack off. And you told me before that you plan to leave this job soon anyway, right? You'd said you'd be happy when you became a housewife and could leave the company. But it seems you're not going to become a housewife at all now, right?
Why is all of this happening to me? I wasn't the one that did anything wrong here.
So then who are you trying to say is the one to blame for all of this?
It's your fault for wearing janitor clothing at work. When you had all that dirty clothing on, there was no reason for me to think you were the CEO, right? I bet you were trying to hide this from me as a way of getting me fired.
So you seem to be far too upset to even properly rationalize now. The reason I was wearing janitor clothing that day is because I respect the janitor work within my company. That day I chose to help around the office to show my respect to everyone and make it clear that I was always thinking of everyone's needs. Was I wrong for being so kind?
I'm sure that's what you thought you were doing.
You already know very well that you blaming me for hiding nothing from you isn't going to work here, right? You showed me that you don't respect anyone within my company, especially the janitorial staff, and that's unacceptable. So I'm going to have you leave. And whether or not you can become a housewife or not now, I'm going to make sure that you're no longer in the company and are away from me.
But you already know that my marriage is on thin ice. Please, Doris, can you talk to Chris about all of this?
I will most definitely not.
Why not, though?
Not only did you say very rude things to me thinking that I was the janitor, but you also spilled wine all over my dress at your wedding. I'm firing you not only on my own behalf, but also on the behalf of all the employees within my company, including the janitorial staff. And no matter how much you try to complain and cry about what is being done to you, there is no stopping the inevitable from reaching you.
Please, 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 don't say things like that now. I did want to quit at some point, but I don't want to leave the company in the current situation. If I'm not able to make things right with Chris, what will I do?
Well, I suppose we don't know what'll happen between the two of you, but maybe I can find use for you within my company.
Really? So I won't be fired, right?
But that's only as long as you work as a janitor.
Huh? A janitor? You're going way too far now. Are you trying to make me look like an idiot in front of everyone?
Look, that's what I'm talking about. You really haven't learned a thing from all of this talking. You've just sat there spewing out garbage and not taking a single word of mine into consideration. Well, if you're not going to be able to work as a janitor within my company, then there's no other positions that I could put you in. As for your wedding today, congratulations. I hope you and Chris will have a great life together. Well, that's only if you and him can get along anymore, right? In the end, the wedding was cancelled, and the idea of the two getting married fell apart very quickly. And since Angela's mental health was ruined, she no longer showed up at the office ever again to speak with HR, and so she was fired without an exit meeting. But later on, she began to stalk Chris, as she still thought she had a chance of getting his trust back. However, after having multiple run-ins with him, where he told her to stay out of his sight, and that she was no longer on his mind, she resorted to standing outside his house and watching him through the windows. This didn't end up going any better for her, and she ended up having police called on her at one point, and was taken back to her parents' house, where they proceeded to kick her out and she became homeless. The dream of becoming a housewife for Chris has now become anything but reachable. She may be in a very tough spot now, with nowhere to really go, but this is all part of the prize she won for being so disrespectful to Doris. Her best bet now is to really learn from her mistakes and take the right steps in changing her life back the way it was, minus the horrible attitude she had.
Natalie! Happy birthday to you! Have you gotten the divorce papers that I've sent you as your birthday present?
So you didn't get around to reserving a restaurant for me or anything on my special day? I left work early today to come spend my birthday with you going out to eat.
Is that so? Well, that's too bad for you. I'm sorry, but I've never actually planned on reserving a restaurant for us to go have dinner at. I've chosen that the best present to give you this year is the present of divorce.
Is that right? Is that all because you found yourself another woman?
You got that right. Unlike you, she's a young and dazzling woman whom I'm happy to call my future wife. Starting the moment you and I hand in those papers and get our divorce, I'm going to have a whole new life happening around me. And it'll be way better than the one I'm living now.
Does this also mean that you've been cheating on me with her?
Well, I suppose you could say that. And so what? If you'd like to get a settlement fee or something, then go right ahead and do so. I'll pay whatever price you ask of me, as long as I get to be with my new woman.
So you just think that being open about something like cheating is going to make everything A-okay for you? Well, since you're pretty much done with me, you're never coming back to this house, right?
That's right. I'm never going back there. You and I are over with, and I no longer want anything to do with you. I think you're best off getting on one of those dating apps after today, and try your luck at finding a new man that'll love you as well. But let's be real here. There are no men that would be willing to make you their partner, with how awful you look now after aging.
You must think you're on top of the world just because you were able to reel a younger woman into your life.
If you want, I can show you some pictures of what she looks like. I'll send them to you right now, actually. Her name is Faye.
She is a good-looking young woman, isn't she, Ken? But tell me, why would someone as good-looking as her be willing to choose you to be her husband?
The reason for that is because I'm an elite employee, working in one of the largest companies in America. You and I never had any kids either, so that means my pockets are loaded in her eyes. To a young and beautiful-looking woman, a man with a really good job who's in his 40s is one heck of a steal.
You are far too old to be saying things like that about yourself now, so please stop.
I'm being serious about this. Even Faye herself told me that she's in love with me because of my career and money. Now, starting the moment you hand in those divorce papers, I'm going to be living a very happy and exciting new life. Goodbye forever, Natalie. And make sure that you never try and contact me again, please.
Hey, Natalie, are you doing all right? Are you sure you're not too sad about everything? After something like that, you are more than welcome to come and stay at my house. I'm totally fine, Christy. Thank you for listening to me as I talked earlier. That really helped me get a lot off my chest about how I'm feeling, and I'm a lot happier because of it. But like I was telling you before, I feel refreshed after being left behind by a man like him. I actually knew for a little while that he was testing the waters with me by going out with other women. And I was right when I figured he must have been planning to leave me for a younger girl. Things happened a lot faster than I expected them to. However, having this happen has made me understand my situation a whole lot easier. You really are handling this like an adult. If I were in your shoes, I would never let Ken see the light of day after doing something as selfish as that. So, does this mean that you're going to move on with life and start fresh? I think so. It feels like I've had this huge weight lifted off of me, and I'm able to move on my feet more lightly now. But I did say that I'm still going to get a settlement from him, so it's not all over just yet. For some reason, I feel like men of his status are becoming more and more common. What do you mean, men of his status? Well, a few months ago, a colleague of mine at work happened to have the same thing happen with their husband. He went after a younger woman and left her. Huh? Is that so? Yeah. She was a complete mess after finding out about it because she never thought her husband would do that to her. But listen, a little while after she found out about this, she learned a very crazy thing. She heard that the younger woman that had been going out with her husband ended up having a scam marriage with him. A scam marriage? That's right. Her plan was to find older men with lots of money and use her beauty to get him to fall for her, all so that she could take what money she could from him and then leave. My colleague's husband was hurt after what the young woman did to him and tried going back to my colleague. But she wasn't going to have any of him and kicked him off her property for good. She really made him feel like a pile of crap in the end, huh? Whatever happened to that younger woman he'd married? Well, the police have still not been able to find her. But listen, about a month or so ago, there was a woman just like her walking around near my house. I only recognized her because my colleague showed me a picture from before. I think she's been on the prowl for another man in this area now. What? You happen to know what that younger woman's face looks like? I do. Her face was on the news as well after that last scam she pulled with my colleague's husband. I happen to have a picture of her on my phone, so I'll send it to you now. This is the face of that younger woman. Yep. She really is one hell of a good-looking girl, right? I think she's got the perfect kind of face that would get any middle-aged man to throw their wife away for her. I get it now. It all makes sense. What are you talking about? Do you happen to know her from somewhere? This woman. She's the one that Ken had been showing me pictures of before he left me. What? Are you for real? And wait, you happen to know the face of the woman your husband's been cheating on you with? Well, he was telling me she was young and very good looking. And after that, he sent me a picture of her to kind of brag some more about her. I have to say, there is no doubt here. The woman that scammed your colleague's ex happens to be the same woman that's with Ken now. That idiot, what the hell has he gotten himself into this time? So that's why she's been around town this past month then. And you're totally right about Ken. He's 110% an idiot. So what are you going to do about it, Natalie? What do you mean, what am I going to do about it? Well, you happen to know now that your ex-husband is going to be marrying someone who's about to scam him for all his money, right? Well, there's always the option to give him a call right now and tell him that he's being played right now. You think I have any reason to be that kind to him? I was the one he threw away in favor of her, right? And, well, I want him to experience what it's like to be thrown away by someone you love himself. Perfect. I was thinking the same thing. I'm really looking forward to learning about what happens after their marriage. When something crazy happens, tell me all about it right away, okay? Sure thing. I'll let you know. Again, thank you so much for letting me talk with you today and telling me all this great news about his new younger woman. Hey, you and I are completely divorced now, right? So then why are you continuing to send me pictures of you and that woman still?
Well, I just thought it was the perfect time for me to send you all of the wonderful pictures Faye and I have taken on our little love excursion. I mean, look at her! She's a total beaut. I mean, she could kill it in the modeling business, right? Had you been a little bit more like her, I might have given my marriage to you a couple of more years there.
You really love to talk that mouth off of yours, huh? So tell me, what does she think of you after you left me?
She's telling me that she loves me every single day, which is way more than you ever said that to me. And she's really been wanting for the two of us to get married already. She said that she'd be in charge of planning out the wedding and everything for me, as long as I gave her the money for it, so I've gone ahead and done just that for her. I'm really looking forward to the kind of wedding she has made for us.
Wow. So you're already giving her loads of money then? What else is going on with you two? Have you been buying her lots of gifts and things like that now as well?
Well, of course I have. Just like I'd done for you when we were younger. Although, I'd probably already given her more presents now than I ever gave to you our whole time together. She always gets so happy and loving during those times, and that in return makes me feel great. Compared to that, you'd always just put on a fake smile and said thank you to me.
Well, that's because every time you'd get me something, you'd have some kind of complaint about me to say along with it. Telling me I'm starting to look older or that my cooking is getting worse. I was just tired of all that crap from you, and you giving me a little gift to make up for it was not enough.
I was in the same boat as you then at that point. I would always have to come home from a long day at work to see an old hag working in the house. Really made me feel like I was married to the complete wrong person.
You and I happen to be the same age though, Ken, so you have no right calling me an old hag. By the way, what about your job?
I quit now. I'm not coming back to that town anymore, as I've run off with Faye. She and I are gonna find a new town that's much more fun and exciting for us. And that's where I'll find myself a new job.
Is that so? So you've gone all out now with starting that new life of yours?
Well, I have no plans of returning back to the life I had there, so there's no need for me to hold back. You're more than welcome to throw all my things that I left there anyway. I'm not coming back for them. They're no good to me anymore either. They've been in the same house as a 40-year-old hag, so I don't even want to see them. Being able to get married to a much younger and far better looking woman than you is really going to take my life to the next level.
When you say next level, do you mean going up or going down? I'm sorry, I can't stop myself from laughing right now.
Huh?
I can't do this anymore. I was able to hold this laughter back for a while when talking to you, but I just can't do it anymore. Ken, do you really believe that Faye Chick is in love with you and really wants to be your wife?
Of course I believe all of that. She's even gone and said she loves me herself. Are you starting to get jealous over her? Hey, come on now. Don't get too upset over this.
You're the only one who's going to be upset by all of this. Are you not finding all of this way too good to be true for yourself? How long have you even known that young girl?
It's been a little over a month now. What does that have to do with anything, though?
No matter how you try and look at that, there is something going on behind the scenes with that woman. Why would some perfect-looking young woman like her choose to be with an ugly and aging old man like you?
To her, my age and looks have no relation to the love she has for me. Have you seriously not noticed that yet? Age is just a number to most people.
Jeez. You are that far lost in what lies she's been telling you? I sort of feel bad for you. It's like she's going to be stealing candy from a baby here soon. All right then. Well, you can go right ahead and continue having the best life you've ever dreamed of with her. I hope you're really looking forward to that wedding.
I'm going to enjoy this life with her, and I'll make sure that it'll never end, just to spite you. See ya, you jealous hag. Stop talking to me for the rest of time, all right?
I really hope you can manage to keep that happiness lasting forever. But we'll just have to see.
Come help me!
Well, here you are already. I thought you told me just yesterday to never talk to you again, right? Did Faye do something really crazy to you that's got you coming to me for help now with your tail tucked?
That witch! She was hiding her true intentions from me this whole time! She and I went and stayed at a hotel together for the night, and when I woke up, both my wallet and car were gone! She stole them both from me and ran away!
Oh, you poor, poor thing. This must have been her goal this whole time with you then, right?
Yeah. When I found my phone, I looked at it to see a message from her saying she'd leave it with me as the only thing she wouldn't take. She'd been planning to do this to me the whole time. Dang it! She played me like a dang fiddle!
So, why are you wanting me to help you out now?
I want you to lend me some of your money. I don't have any money on me right now, and Faye has my wallet with her. If I can't get any money, how am I going to pay for this hotel room? I have until 10 a.m., and on my way out, I have to pay for the room. I just need you to send me a couple hundred to my account for the room, and I'll be able to manage after that.
But you said you don't have any of your cards on you, right? They were in your wallet.
That's right. Well, I still have my phone, so could you Venmo me some money? And I might be able to pay with the card I have downloaded on my phone.
Let's start with this. Why do you think someone like me has to be the one to help you get out of your bad situation?
Huh?
You think I'm going to want to help you after the way you threw me aside on my birthday of all days? You have to get a grip on reality and see that I don't want to help you anymore.
You hold it right there. You don't feel bad for me in any way? Don't you still have feelings for me? I get that we got a divorce just a few days ago, but you and I have been married for 10 years, right?
You were the one that lost feelings for me first, right? So when I found that out, I thought to hell with my feelings for you and threw them all in the dumpster, where they belong.
No, there's no way you're already over me. I know better than anyone that you're one of the kindest people in the world. I get that you're trying to act all tough right now, but in the end, you're going to help me out, right?
I'm really not sure where you're getting that impression of me from. But look, I've known for a couple of days now that Faye chick is the kind of woman who is only into you for your money, and her way of getting to it is by committing marriage fraud and scamming you.
What?
Recently, there was another victim to her crimes, all right? My friend Christy was very nice and told me all about Faye and her ties to one of her colleagues' ex-husbands. She even showed me a picture of Faye afterwards so that I could verify that you were in fact with the same young woman as the previous man. And after verifying that, my feelings about the situation really changed.
Why didn't you tell me about her sooner? So that I could have avoided all of this?
The reason for that is because I'm not as kind as you led yourself to think I am. I really was looking forward to seeing the outcome of what kind of fool she'd be able to play you as in the aftermath of her game. I mean, you threw me away without a care in the world for my feelings, so what makes you think I wouldn't want to do the same for you?
You're awful! This makes you like her accomplice or something now! And you're telling me that Christy knew about all of this going on as well?
Yep, she knew before either of us. Well, about Faye and all she'd done at least. And I think by this point most of the people in town know about Faye because she appeared on the news after her first stunt.
Yeah! This is all getting way too out of hand! Well, for the time being, I need you to send me some money right now so that I can get out of this hotel!
If you'd really like for me to help you, then perhaps you can start off by saying you're sorry to me.
I'm sorry. I really do feel bad about everything I had done to you before. I just happened to be a little tempted by Faye's all, and I acted on those temptations. Now you can forgive me, please.
No thanks.
Hey, Christy! You go and talk with Natalie right now for me and set her straight. And if you can you please lend me some money for this hotel? Please?
Huh? What are you going on about right now?
I know you happen to know everything about what's been going on with me, right? Please! You're the only person that I can ask for help now. You and I have known each other for a long time now, so please help me, right?
Could you please refrain from trying to get me all wrapped up in your problems? And to be fair, this is what you deserve after what you did to Natalie. So you figure out how to help yourself on your own.
So you really want me to go and tell Natalie about the relationship you and I have had? If you do not help me get out of this, then I'm going to go and tell Natalie everything about you and me. I'm not messing around anymore. I will seriously do it. I have nothing to lose now, but you might.
What kind of past are you even talking about right now that you and I had?
I'm talking about how before I married Natalie, you and I had been going out with one another. If I tell her about that, she's going to be shot. She might not even let you be her friend anymore after that.
Huh? Give me a break, Ken. Her and I had talked about that whole story a long time ago.
What?
It's not like you were dating me while you were together with her, right? The only thing that's happened is Natalie marrying my ex-boyfriend, and she sees it that way as well. There was never an overlap in the time you were dating me and when she started dating you. So why are you bringing that all up now like it's going to make any difference?
You've already talked with her about it then? She never told me about how you guys talked about that.
It's not like she meant to hide that from you. I mean, there was no reason for me to try and hide that little fling we had back then because it has nothing to do with her other than be a topic of light conversation. So you can go ahead and tell her, but she's not going to give a crap about it. Natalie already knows everything about what you and I did, and she doesn't care.
What? Well, then I'm gonna lie about it and say that we were having an affair while she was with me. No matter how much she believes of that, she's still going to be shocked in some way and will most likely begin to doubt you.
Really? She's going to know you're on your last leg and are just trying to spread bullcrap. You really are such a toxic little man. You used to be so much better when you were younger. What happened?
Shut up! I want you to keep your mouth shut and let me lie to her about how you and I had a thing going on while I was with Natalie. Now, are you going to help me or are you going to make me lie to her?
Go ahead and lie to her. I don't care.
Are you sure about that? You and Natalie are best friends. Are you really going to risk losing her after not helping me?
That's right. Her and I are best friends, and that's why the both of us trust one another 100%. She has no reason to believe your bullcrap, unlike how you believed in Faye's.
Well, we'll have to see about that then. I think you're thinking too highly of your guys' friendship. Things like that are only one small lie from falling apart into rubble.
And that's because all of the friends you've ever had have been a bunch of selfish losers like yourself, who never really cared about one another.
You have no place talking to me about my friendships like that. So you're really not going to help me out this time by lending me some money?
You can go ahead and tell Natalie anything you'd like, even about this lie of us having an affair.
I see. Then I'm gonna go tell her. You better be ready for what's gonna happen to you next. Hey, because things have turned out so poorly for all of us, I'm going to let you in on a very important secret. Christy and I, we had an affair back when you and I were together.
Oh? Is that so?
Yep. I'm sure you're going to start questioning that witch now, huh? I told her that if she had helped me, I wouldn't ever tell you this secret. But she never did help. I guess this is it for both of yours friendship.
I see. So you're on your last leg now. Well, Ken, remember that Christy and I are best friends. You understand that, right?
Huh? I know that the two of you are best friends. I'm sure you're shocked now after learning that your best friend has stabbed you in the back.
I don't believe a word you've said. I know what this is all about. You and her had dated one another before you started to go out with me. And, well, now that Christy has said she's not going to help you after you pleaded and pleaded, you thought you'd lie to me about that as a way of getting me angry with her, right?
No, I would never. I'm telling you the truth. She and I had an affair while I was with you. Seriously?
I knew it. You are the worst at lying about things you know, Ken. How many more times are you going to tell me you're serious or that it's the truth?
I'm not lying! All of this is very, very true! Huh?
Is that right? Well, if that's how much you believe what you're telling me is true, then I guess I'll have to get a settlement from you for that case as well.
That was... well...
Well, you are so set on getting me to believe that you had an affair with Christy, right? Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'm going to get money from you for that as well. And you did tell me during the divorce that you'd pay me whatever I asked for in a settlement, right?
Well...
You're going to follow through with all you told me before, right? You're in your 40s now and are an adult. As an adult, we all have to follow through in the promises we make, right?
Hey, maybe you can stop all that. I get it. I made another mistake. Leave me alone now. I never had an affair with Christy while together with you. That was all just a lie to try and get you to fight her.
You really are such a waste of life. Seeing someone like you waste your life away like that, when someone far more deserving of it might be dying right now, is depressing for me. Well, I'm just glad you're telling me in the end that you'd been lying. But here's the thing. I don't believe you were lying. I think you did cheat on me with Christy, and I'm going to have you pay for that too now.
Ah!
Well, come on now. You might want to say that was a lie now, but you tried so hard to get me to believe you cheated on me with her that I'm now hooked. And it's not like you've never cheated on me before, as you were just doing it a few days before my birthday, so you're going to pay for all of that.
But I told you that I lost everything! All my money to that Fae witch! I have no way to pay you anything now!
I don't give a crap. And make sure you don't come back to this house, okay? I followed through with that promise and have started to throw out all your things.
Hey! If you do all that to me, then how am I going to be able to live life?
Right? I'm wondering the same thing now. How the hell are you going to make it out of this alive? Guess we'll have to see.
Please! Please just forgive me! Just let me be back together with you, please!
Hey, I'm sorry, but that's going to be a no from me. You think I'd ever want to be together with some ugly-looking 40-year-old man? After that, it took a few days, but Ken was able to manage finding his way back to my house. But I'd gone and changed the locks on all the doors and changed the name on the house to mine. And so after realizing that, I kicked him off my property. Ken began to cry like a big baby as he sat at the gate to my house banging on it, and since it started to become such a huge problem for the people in the neighboring houses having to listen to him, I called the police. They came and picked him up and took him from my house to the nearest police station. And a few days after that happened, I had a lawyer go meet him at the jail cell he was being held in, and help him find a way to get the money I was asking for into my account. After that was all said and done, and the money was now safely in my bank account, I sold the house and moved into a nice apartment. Ken was later let out of the jail cell, but having lost his house, his money, his car, and everyone's trust, he went on another crazy mission to try and find me. But after weeks of never being able to find me and living on the streets, he finally gave up and went back to his hometown. I really wonder what kind of life he's living there now and how he's feeling deep down. A little while later, after Ken left town, I heard on the news that Faye was finally caught by the police and taken away to prison. I guess after finding all of this out, you could call this a very happy ending to the story. I've been living on my own now and have no intentions of finding another man to take Ken's place, as I've put most of my time into work. And Christy has moved back home to her parents' house to help them out as they grow older, solving the problem of all their loneliness. She really is my best friend, and I'm glad that the two of us were able to work together to rid this town of a man like Ken.
Lauren, did you actually drop out of high school? I'd love for that to be true, actually. But that has to be a joke, right?
A joke? Why would that be a joke to you?
Because are there actually still people around these days that have never finished high school? There's no one like that, right? Marcus ended up graduating high school and college, right?
And I'm sure that Marcus has explained everything to you before, but I'll tell you again. While I was in high school, my parents' company was having a bit of a struggle, and during that time, my mom ended up passing away, and things just got worse from there. And so to make sure that my younger brother could continue going to school and be taken care of, I left school and started working when I was 16. And so you could say that I am in fact a high school dropout.
What? Well, that story doesn't mean crap to me.
Well, if it doesn't mean anything to you, then why did you ask me about all of this? And actually, I'm pretty sure you've been told this story once before in person. Why are you asking for it again?
Because I graduated from a very high-level university. And because of that, I've been able to keep my family's company going. They wanted me to make sure that someone would take very good care of it after all. So they forced me to study hard and go get a great education. My ability to run a company is all thanks to my education. And because of that company, I am able to be where I am today. And so, when you think about how important someone's education is, that makes you the lowest of the low, right?
Huh? What the heck are you trying to say to me? I didn't think that I needed the same kind of education as you have to run a company. And I make that pretty obvious, right?
When an elite like me is able to take your brother who's expected to succeed just as much as me away from you, we are going to become the most happy couple on this planet. But in your case, you have nothing, right?
You're right, a lot of things happened with me.
You poor thing. But with your educational history, it's expected of you to have a tough life.
I don't really think it's the fault of my education that put me into a divorce, though. And I have no reason why I should tell you exactly what caused those things to happen either.
Well, that doesn't bother me. Because I now have the right to belittle you all I want. That's how things are going to work.
Well, if you think that because of you graduating from whatever nice university you graduated from makes you better than me, so be it.
I have no idea why you'd be so okay with that. Just know that when it comes to Marcus and I's wedding, a lowlife like you is not allowed in.
Do you not think that that's a little rude to ask from me?
Why would that be rude? It's my wedding after all, so I can ask whatever I want. And Marcus and I are both college graduates. Why would you think it's okay to have a high school dropout come to the wedding of two scholars?
Someone's education has nothing to do with your wedding, though. It should be more than enough for me to come to that wedding due to the fact that I'm Marcus's older sister.
Well, you can say whatever you want to about the wedding, but I'm not letting you come. If you'd really like to come to the wedding, then find a way to show that you're equal or better than me.
Equal or better? Why do you think this is some sort of competition?
Well, I'm just asking that if you want to be allowed in our amazing wedding, you'll have to prove that you're good enough.
Why do I have to do all of that when I just want to watch my little brother get married? Does it really matter if I'm better than you or not? Are you saying that something would happen to me if I did show up to that wedding without your permission? If so, I'd suggest you hold off on any of that, because as far as I'm aware, I haven't done anything to make you hate me.
That's not the problem here, Lauren. This all has to do with my pride.
Well, I'm not sure what you're so prideful of. Perhaps instead of having such a fragile pride that could be destroyed by me coming to the wedding, you just relax a little and enjoy your special day. Right now, I'm just going to assume that everything you've said thus far has all been some simple joke, right? I don't want to think of anything else of your attitude today, so I'll be going now.
I'm laughing my butt off right now. You really thought it'd be okay to come here even though you never made it through high school? You really have no self-respect, do you?
The day of the wedding. What are you on about? The only one that doesn't seem to have any self-respect is you. All I've done is show up to my brother's wedding today, but you started talking down to me and then took a bucket full of water and splashed it all over me and my dress. Is that what someone that cares a lot about her education does to others?
I told you all about this before, right? I said that anyone that comes here who isn't equal or better than me education-wise is not allowed in. So, get lost. But I guess it only makes sense that someone without a high school diploma would make the mistake of not understanding what I meant. You're so stupid that we could consider you on the same level as a dog.
I know that you had quite a blast tossing me out of your wedding and all, but do you know what'll happen if you do have me go home?
You should be asking yourself that. Do you know what's going to happen to you now?
What do you mean by that?
An idiot without any decent education is going to be cast away by Marcus and I. In other words, we're cutting ties with you. For good. Don't you feel bad for how sad your brother's going to be now because of this?
Go ahead and say what you will. I can already see that you don't feel a bit of regret for what you've done to me. And I know that nothing will ever stop you from belittling me.
It's your fault for not listening to my warning and still showing up to my wedding. Even thinking about the fact that a dog like you would come to an elite's wedding makes me sick to my stomach. Do you at least understand me a little better now that you've been covered head to toe in freezing cold water?
I'm going home.
And never show your face around us again.
I'll make sure of that. And I think there will never even be a chance you and I ever see each other again. No matter what happens to you from now on, I hope you get a taste of your own medicine.
Shut up. My own medicine? Get out of here and go home, you brainless joke.
You don't even have to tell me twice. Good luck with my brother.
I overheard some interesting and sort of weird things just a second ago. Do you happen to have a lot of money, Lauren?
And so what if I do?
I want to know why someone that never finished high school has ended up with a lot of money. My parents are looking all over for you right now, and I want to know why.
Well, of course they'd be looking for me. From both your parents' point of view, I'm one of their customer CEOs.
Wait, huh? CEO? I have no idea what you just said to me. Do you think you can come back here right away? I think you and I talking about this in person would be the quickest.
Right now? There's no reason for me to go back there right now.
Huh? Why not?
Have you forgotten everything you just did to me a little bit ago? I don't want to catch a cold just standing there all drenched, so I went back home. Seems that things are starting to catch up to you now, though, huh? But as you can see, I did as you said and went home.
But I'm saying that we weren't on the same page back then. I had assumed that you were just some moneyless high school dropout and that you'd be a waste at the wedding. Is that not the case?
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you were very wrong. I had started my own company and now I'm running 3 different businesses.
You're running 3 different companies.
I'm aware that I'm telling you all of this now, but I'm sure my brother explained everything to you about my companies a while back. And when you first met me, I told you again about what my occupation is. Why are you acting like this is only the first time hearing this of me?
I can't believe any of this. I never heard a thing about any of your companies.
Maybe that's because when you heard about my education, you decided to start treating me like an animal. And that includes not continuing to listen about who I actually was, right? You just got attached to the idea that I dropped out of high school and made sure to paint me as the idiot you thought I was. And ever since then, you acting all happy about picking on me has been rude as hell. And you didn't even try and hide the fact that you'd belittled me from Marcus. With all the ways you called me names and mistreated me. But isn't it just amazing? The parents of a girl that boasts about her education and her career are actually the ones getting money from me to work with them. You never thought that that could be the case, did you?
Uh-huh. My parents' company gets paid by you. They're paid by someone that hasn't even graduated high school?
But you said you're going to cut ties with me, so I plan on ending the work I do with them.
Huh?
I was assuming you would have been prepared for the fallout of all that you've done to me. So you should be ready for what'll happen next, right? So when you start to worry about what'll happen with your parents and everyone around you, it'll involve me and my company.
Hold on for just a minute, Lauren. Are you being serious about all of this? I never once thought that you'd have any relations with my family's company. And why would I ever guess that someone like you would be able to become a CEO when you don't have any education? Could this mean that you're committing fraud? You haven't gotten my family involved in any of your fraudulent business, right?
You can only get so far thinking that me as a dropout only means I can't do anything. I'm going to take you to court for defamation. Is that what you want to happen?
Take me to court. What are you talking about? Stop that right now.
Mandy, you just covered me in a bucket of freezing cold water, right? Did you forget all about that? You may think that it's okay to look down on others because they don't have as good of education as you. But do you not understand that there can be repercussions for that? It's one thing to get like this because of your education, but I think there's something rotten about your personality as well.
I don't want to hear all of this from some fraud.
I'm sure you don't want to accept all that's happening right now, but I want you to understand that you've just put yourself in between a rock and a hard place. Are you seriously not aware of how childish you've been acting? I don't even want to say childish, though, because even most children know better.
Wait a second. Does Marcus know about this?
Of course he does after all of this. Marcus ended up asking someone about why I was covered in water and sent home. And then when he was told his woman did it, he freaked out.
This is so messed up. Why would someone tell him it was me? I'll tell him I did it because you punched me first.
Huh?
I can always just make up a lie to get them all to side with me. They'd all trust me over you because I'm the bride today, right? So, how about you tell Marcus that you started all of this by punching me and that you're sorry, and I'll tell him the same.
Do you really think anybody's going to believe that?
What?
My brother just told me that he's taken your family and everyone with him to talk about this and canceling the wedding. And he's even got me on the phone right now talking about it.
They can't just decide to stop the wedding without me. That'll mess everything up. Lauren, hurry up and tell him what really happened and get him to come back to me.
That's not my problem to deal with, so no thank you. And above all, I have something far more important to talk about. I'm going to be stopping any payments made to your parents' company, and that's final. I already let them know about this, and I've told some of my employees to no longer work with your family's company.
Oh, crap. I didn't think that my parents would have to pay for this as well.
Seems your parents didn't even realize that I'm Marcus's older sister, but Marcus just told them today, and now they're very aware. And that's why they now understand why you never happened to tell them about me.
This is really not good, and I'm starting to have a panic attack. Wait. What am I going to do? What should I do? Please, Lauren, help me.
Not after all the terrible things you've done to me. And I can't even come back there to help now because I'm not as educated as you are. So since things have all gone to plan for you, why are you so upset now?
None of this is going to plan. Not at all. This is a huge problem for me now, and I need you to come back.
The only problem with all of this is the problems you have with your head.
What's wrong with you?
It's better that you go and talk with Marcus about all this now. I have nothing else to say to you now, and I don't want to hear any more of this. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait, please, Lauren. You can't just leave me forever, you know? I'll apologize to you for making fun of your education. I'm so sorry. But just because I made a few comments about you and your past doesn't mean you have the right to go and destroy my wedding and everything, right? You need to start acting like an adult yourself. You get back here right now and make things right for me.
You really plan on acting as though nothing happened because of you and you can just wait for someone else to care for you?
Huh?
How about you calm down a bit and think this all through? You can't blame any about this on anyone else but yourself. This is what you've been asking for a long time, right? You're the one that made me feel bad for myself and then covered me in a bucket of ice-cold water, right? After all that and the results that you got, you still plan on blaming me? Do you need to go get some exams done in your head or something?
I have nothing wrong with my head, though. I will apologize for spilling all that water on you as well. So, now that I'm apologizing for so much, don't you think you can forgive me?
This isn't about me forgiving you or not. I'm done here now. The rest of this you can handle with Marcus and everyone else. I'm going to be disappearing from your life from now on. And so that means I'd like for you to disappear from my life now as well, okay? Sucks having your wedding canceled due to all this, doesn't it? Well, I should say that your marriage in general is over with. After that, the whole wedding was indeed canceled. All of Mandy's family ended up finding out about her horrible attitude. And then right as Mandy was on the verge of getting back to work within her family's company, they told her to leave. And just like the wedding, the marriage was canceled as well. And just like that, Mandy was left jobless and unwed. Even with the amazing education that she has, she can't seem to find anywhere to rest easy. Right now, she's trying her best to find new work and all, but because of the tank revolving around her recent past, most companies won't even let her get an interview. I'm sure that she's going to become well aware of what happens when you look down on someone because of their education eventually. But it's already a bit too late now. I guess her only hope now is to move far away past all of those that know her and start a new life with a much better view on people besides just their judging over how much they've studied.
Trisha, is it true that Dad's not doing very well right now? I got a call about it already from the hospital, but have you gone to the hospital yet yourself to be with him?
Huh? What does the high school dropout want with me now?
Why are you even talking about me being a high school dropout right now? Answer me! Is Dad doing okay right now or not? I want to know if I need to take the rest of the day off to come see you guys now or not.
You have never contacted me like this before. So it must mean you only care about how Dad's doing instead of how I'm doing. You really are a waste. But this is what to expect from those too stupid to graduate from high school?
Stop talking about that right now. I want to talk to you about Dad because I'm worried about his condition. I would like to come to the hospital to see him, but would it be okay for me to be there right now, or should I wait until later today?
What do you plan to do by coming? If you're trying to get him to give you something in his will, know that you're never getting a penny.
Huh? You think this is about his money? I don't need his money. If anything, I'd feel bad getting anything from him right now due to his financial state.
You're only talking to me now because our CEO Dad is on his deathbed and his money and properties are all that interest you, right? And I'm sure you just want to see how much you'll be getting.
I told you that I have no intentions of asking him about any of his money. This isn't about what's in his will, but about wanting to know how Dad's doing. If this is going to be it for him, I'd really like to be there to comfort him and show that I love him.
Well, if this is going to be it for him, his death will have nothing to do with you. You're just a high school dropout and a failure. I'm sure even he doesn't want you around because he knows what you're really after.
Are you even listening to me right now?
There's nothing a waste of space like you is getting from Dad. I'll be handling everything for Dad after he's passed, so you don't have to bother us. Just stay away and I'll let you know when he's gone.
Then you must mean this is his last time with us. I have the right to be there with him to say goodbye and that I love him. Tell me what hospital he's at and I'll start leaving now.
I know you just want to come and ask for all his things. So you can just wait till after he's dead and hear about it from his lawyer, okay?
What? Why do you keep talking like that?
I'm worried that with how weak he is right now, you'll come in here and force him to change his will, giving you everything. Now, until I message you, you're not allowed to come to the hospital.
You're being a jerk, Trisha. I don't want anything to do with his money or with his will. Can you please listen to what I'm saying to you?
You came just as he died, didn't you? You almost did it to me there, Annalise.
I wasn't going to do anything wrong, Trisha. I was talking to everyone at the hospital and they told me you never came to see him. And they said that he was alone this whole time with nobody but the nurses and doctors around him. Why the hell would you do that to him?
I was busy myself, so I couldn't make it in. I have been trying to plan out how to use all of Dad's money, so I've been busy with all of that.
What? How to use up all of Dad's money? What the hell, Trisha? You have to be joking right now, right?
I'm not joking at all, actually. I'm aware now that you don't want anything from his will, right? And Dad had a massive company under him that was making bank. So, I plan to take over the company and make bank myself. And I'm not giving you a single thing. I've been waiting a long time for this, and I'm oh so happy now.
Ugh, what are you talking about? Seriously, Trisha? Do you think you can calm down just a little?
I heard that you plan on coming to his funeral later, but it's too late now for you to do anything about me. Our mom and dad divorced a long time ago, and I plan to make sure that her and your uneducated butt vanish from my sight forever. So don't get in my way anymore.
Trisha, do you have any desire to listen to me anymore?
Right. I'd also like you to stop thinking of me as your sister from now on. Once I have everything from Dad, I'm going to be cutting ties with you.
Are you kidding? Is there really a good reason for doing that?
I know that you and Mom will be trying to get my money from me, so I need to get rid of you both now so that I don't end up having to deal with that annoying crap. It's not like us never talking again will change much of anything anyway. But anyway, just know that coming to Dad's funeral won't change a thing for you.
But I'm still going. That'll be my final chance to show Dad just how much I loved him. And Trisha, you really need to get your head straight and listen to what I'm telling you. If you don't, you are going to regret a lot of things afterwards. I've had enough. Are you not freaking embarrassed after doing that?
What about you? Aren't you pretty dang embarrassed now?
I get that you always enjoy talking bad about me, but throwing a bucket of water onto my head and then asking me to leave is going too freaking far. That right there was the most idiotic thing I have ever seen you do.
How so? I just did what I needed to do. I am going to be receiving Dad's company, and you're not meant to be around here.
You're getting his company? You don't have the knowledge nor skills to be taking a company under your own management.
Huh? I'm not going to take that from a brainless high school dropout.
Well, you haven't worked a full-time job in your life for more than a week, so what would you know? Trisha, do you really think you could handle a job like that?
I'm really not the kind of person you should be trying to talk bad about. Anyway, what I've been trying to say is that you're getting nothing from Dad, you uneducated waste. So go away! And I shouldn't have to say this, but make sure you don't take anything from his will.
I knew that you only cared about his money and company. You always said that I was the one going after his stuff just to take the spotlight off yourself. I wish you would have never done all of this.
Can you get lost and never come back to Dad's funeral for me? I will be getting all of Dad's properties and money, so tell the lawyer that you can't accept any of it.
Then I will do just that.
Thank God.
I'll do just as you've said and leave everything to you. But you'd better not cry to me later, okay? I really think you should rethink all of this before I tell the lawyer. Because after this, I'll become just like you and never listen to a thing you say.
Is that so? Thanks for the warning, but I'm okay. You're annoying me now, so please go away. And that means for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives? Okay. But it'll be you regretting the fact that you never listened to me.
Hey, Annalise? Something strange has started happening here.
What strange things are you talking about? And hold up, didn't we say we'd never talk to one another again?
The money from Dad has still not come to me yet.
Huh? His money?
That's strange, right? It's been close to a week now since he passed away, so I should have the money by now, right? What is that stupid lawyer doing right now? The will said there should be a lot of money coming to me, and I've been told a lot of crap about his company as well now. It's becoming a real pain in my butt having to deal with all of this. Why do I have to do all this stuff for the company?
Did you happen to read everything in those documents from Dad?
Huh? Why are you asking me a question like that?
Well, if you happened to read through everything in Dad's will and all the other documents, you might understand your situation a whole lot better. You get that, right? Dad's company was in a terrible financial situation and he ended up never being able to pay off the loans that the company took out.
What?
What? So the money that he had left in that will was all used to pay off his final debts.
What are you talking about? He failed to pay off some loans? Huh?
If you just took a look at those documents, you'd know. Well, I'm sure the vocabulary is a bit too high level for you, but you have always been bad with economics and financing.
Hold on a minute. This is a joke, right? There were financial liabilities within Dad's company, and they were costing how much? Hundreds of thousands. I have no idea what this is all saying. There's no way his company had this bad of a financial problem. I never asked how to take on all his debts now. You take all these debts of his right now. I just wanted his money.
Excuse me? You can't force me to take all of his debts now, Trisha. I told you that I explained to the lawyer that I would not be taking anything from Dad, so this has nothing to do with me.
Huh? So you're saying that the lawyer got you a free pass?
Well, of course. You said that you'd be taking everything from Dad, so I made that clear to his lawyer. And because of that, even Dad's debt has been moved into your hands.
What? Then what am I going to do? Are you really not going to take all of this debt off my hands?
Do I have a reason to?
You can't just leave me alone to pay it all off.
All the money he had has gone into those debts, and so the only thing left was the remainder, which is now in your name. But it's not like you couldn't have noticed that before he passed, right? However, you never bothered to read anything of his, and now you're the one that'll have to carry that debt.
Well, I never had time to look things over. If I would have, then I would never have taken any of this from him.
The lawyer told me that he had sat down with you, though, and explained that before.
Well, I'm going to do the same thing as you now and tell him I don't want anything. That'll get his debt off my hands, right? That sounds like a good idea to me, but what do you think? How should I go about telling the lawyer I don't want the debt?
It's a bit late now.
Huh? Why is it late now?
Why? Because you signed the document saying you'd take what was left by Dad. And so you can't go back on those documents now because it's all legally been transferred to you. I mean, you're the CEO of that company now, right?
That's correct, but I can't handle all this debt.
Well, I don't care whether you can handle it or not. I think you should be able to handle this on your own from now on and figure something out. It's your company after all now.
What should I be doing, though?
You're pissing me off. Why are you asking me all these questions now? You already cut ties with me, right? So why are you back with all of your problems asking for my insight?
Well, I didn't expect this to happen. Why do I have to be the one to take all of Dad's debt? I just wanted his money and nothing else.
Really? Do you know what you're even saying? Because I don't. You were the one that signed to have all of Dad's things go to you. And that just happened to include his debt as well.
Well, I didn't want to get his debt. I was only after his money this whole time. Why do I have to end up with less money than before now? This isn't an inheritance from him. This is just straight up debt. Don't tell me that you already knew about all of this and that's why you said you'd not take anything.
Well, I might have.
What? So you did know about all of this and still didn't warn me?
I was about to tell you about all of this, but you never chose to listen to me, so I didn't want to waste any more of my own time. Trisha, you have never listened to me when I warned you about things in the past, right?
What is with that tone?
I can use whatever tone I want with you now that you're a complete stranger to me. And you also poured water all over my head and kicked me out of my dad's funeral. And that was my last chance to say goodbye to the dad that I loved. Did you even see how shocked Mom was when you did that?
I don't care about her. That stupid old hag has nothing to do with me.
Well, say whatever you'd like about us. I'm sure you just happened to get that idea of Mom from Dad anyway. I have nothing else to say now. But know that I will never forgive you for what happened today. So even if you're in trouble now, there's nothing I'm willing to do for you.
But the fact that the only thing I got from Dad was his debt. If you would have told me that one thing, I would have been able to avoid all of this. Why couldn't you have done that one thing for me? Help me, you dog!
Help you? Why do you want my help, Trisha? You were the one that took over Dad's company, and so it's up to you now on how you want to handle all of that. I feel so bad for Dad. You were never even around for him when he was dying on the cold hospital bed.
I told you I was busy.
All you did from the time between leaving our house and today was go to a very expensive school using all of Dad's money, and then after that worked a crappy job at a grocery store, not even using your degree for anything, and even then used more of Dad's money to go out and play because you never worked long enough to make anything. Do you really think Dad ever wanted to give you anything in his will when you already used enough of his money? Well, I guess he did give you something at least, and that's all the debt that resides within his company now that you're the new CEO. Sucks to be you, Trisha.
I'm not going to let a high school dropout get away with saying that to me.
You really can't think of any other reasons to pick on me? Crazy, considering that after the divorce, I went with Mom to France and studied at an international school there. And Mom was there working as a manager for her own business, which she's been doing great at. And she's even said that I can have her business when she's passed away.
Huh? She has a company and you've been around her during that.
She's been doing a lot better with her company than Dad was. You had always talked bad about me for not graduating from high school and always called Mom stupid, but look at us compared to yourself. You're the only one facing hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Thank you so much for calling me brainless while spilling all that water over me. I never want to see or hear from you again, okay? You childish idiot of an adult. After that, Annalise went on her way, making sure to have nothing to do with Trisha ever again. And Trisha was left dealing with all her dad's debt while facing a terrifying reality. Trisha tried to run to her mom and Annalise asking for help while bawling her eyes out, but the amount of money she needed to pay was way too substantial. And so her mom could do nothing for her. And so, in the end, she lost the company as it went into bankruptcy and had to start a new life being homeless. But even with the bank taking the company away from her, as well as her house and car, it wasn't enough to cover all the debt. And so even now she's left having to find a way of paying that off. Of course, there's nothing left for the bank to take from her since she's pretty much only got the clothes on her back. So she'll just have to pay the remainder off anytime she makes any sort of money. Trisha really tried her hardest to mess around and keep Annalise away from her dad's money. But in reality, there was never any money to her dad's name. And now she'll be regretting her actions for the rest of her life. This is really a great case of getting what one is asked for, and what she got was a life of debt and sadness.